Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. First of all, everybody's doing a great job, and you'll be working on these and resubmitting these in week 4 with your revision. So let's just jump right in. Okay, really great. There's some really strong things about this site. I can easily see the menu. That's awesome. Let's put the logos in the header. That will ensure that it is on every page, just like your menu. And you have the contact last, perfect. This background, you want to make sure we don't have this background fill. So you want to remove any formatting that is here or re-enter that yourself. A little hard to read here. Not sure you need both of these. Maybe just this kind of subdued is fine. Testimonials with arrows up, no. Headers, or headings rather, always go above our content. All right. And yeah, I think this has kind of a lovely feel. And I would just maybe, put a little heading above that. I'm not sure you need this at all, or the box. And you may only need this much in this strip, right? Take this out, just have the man fishing, a little heading here, and that may be sufficient. So we're not scrolling so much to get to actual content that we need. Again, you want to remove any of the background fill here on your text. Probably make the text white so you can read it, and close this strip up. There'll be a little arrow here you can drag and close that space. The menu is always the one that takes the most time. So good job here, easy to read. Okay. Probably don't need that there, so you might need to crop that. And if this is your footer, because you have this here, just make sure your footer isn't so deep. Okay. We want to reduce clicking and scrolling. This would be up here and at least an inch, so you may have to make the header a little deeper. You're using the same fonts throughout. That's really good. Again, you're going to work with that. You can put a shape. If you look at the typography video, you can make a shape back here to layer your text so it's easy to read if you want. You also, this is everyone, if you want to combine Monday and Wednesday, they're the same location, and also Tuesday and Thursday are the same if you choose to do that while you're revising. And so this content, we need to cut all that, right? We just don't need it. And it just creates more scrolling. I get the feeling you're just, laid this in for the time being and that you're going to work on that still. Great image. That's going to be not so deep. And this image, if it is optimized, that is, if the file size is a little smaller, but still sharp enough, although it can fade back because you have text over it, it will refresh quicker. Okay. Let's see. Arrows, not needed, shouldn't be needed anyway. And, all right, you're linked up, it looks like. Well, when I scroll over, these are, but these aren't. So you really only need these. Make sure your spacing is equal, okay? Your vertical spacing here. Okay, and bring this content up so your most important content is above scrolling, all right? But this is a terrific start. Just a few sweeping changes and it's going to be perfect, all right? Well done. All right, here's another. Okay. You need to link these up to the Real Deal Taco sites. And you can make this bigger. We do want it to be legible, so just a little bigger there. But this is legible so far. Let's remove any underlining at this point. It sometimes feels like it's a link. You want to left align any paragraph text. All right, it's easier for the eye to return to the same place. You also want to break it up into a couple of paragraphs, probably 3. You can also reduce this. You can go in and edit that. For a client, you would have to get approval, but I'm letting you go through and take out what isn't needed. And then this would be up here, a little bigger. This will come up. A little space here for sure. This is a nice image. However, we always want to be careful with AI. We do not want to have hands because it does not yet know how to do that. It hasn't figured it out. So it's better just to find a stock image when you're doing something like this. Other stock images you don't really want in a site. You want to avoid them, especially in your professional site. If you're a cinematographer, for example, you want all your work to be original on your portfolio and things like that. But, all in all, at first glance, it looks great, but, right, we always have to watch for that. Okay, the menu. Took a little while for that to come up. Okay. Looks good. Make sure we're centered, right? Yeah, make sure we're centered there. Okay. A little bit of room there under that. And you'll want to link those up to those links that you were given. Okay. But this is really good. Not a bad layout. Just need a little space there. You've got a little more here than here. You want to be consistent with your space. The color, you've done great with your color scheme. This probably needs to be another color for contrast. I would make that white. Okay. All right. All right. Well done. Not a lot of things that need to be edited, some important things, but you're well on your way. Okay, good job. Okay, I've seen hundreds of these and they are never the same. Left align, paragraph text, this would need to be probably 2 paragraphs. Probably left align your date. See if you can get that up on the same line. You might not be able to, but see if you can do that. We've got quotations and testimonials with an event. So that's going to go in a different place. A testimonial will go there, and you can shorten this, and you won't have this there. You'll have it on a news page. Okay, very good. Nice work. Good. And you're linked up for your socials. Well done. A little small font, but it's all right. The contrast is there, and it's legible. Okay. A little spacing there, a little padding, right? Between that rule. Okay. We do want to get into the most important contact first, so people aren't scrolling. What we've told them is going to be there is the location, so that's what we want to do. If you want to put this below, I know it looks good, but maybe you just have one column with an image and the content that they're looking for, which is this. And actually, that's what you have here. So really, a little space here, and you would just bring this up, and that would be your page. If you wanted to add this at the bottom, you could. But it's also duplicate images. I know they're different photos, but they're the same topic, maybe just shot from different angles and so forth. Some of these are different, but that's something we always want to watch out for, especially when we make our portfolio. If we're a photographer, we're going to have lots of images, but it will look like a duplicate or feel like a duplicate to somebody who's visiting your site. If it's the same model, the same clothing, the same location, the same lighting, even if there's, a slightly different angle or what have you, we know the difference between these photos, but someone visiting only wants to see one example of that particular, photo shoot, unless there's, a difference. such as a second actor or actress or model, or a change of clothes, change of scenery, change of time of day. Other than that, we don't want to overload our site visitor with our examples. And the same is true here. Okay. All right. All good. The only caveat I warn about is any video is going to slow your site down. This is especially important if you have a lot of content on your site. So when you build your portfolio, make sure your storage for your website is reserved for your work. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing there. However, this is a pretty good selection, right? It's fish. It's a fish taco. This looks like it. Nope. Okay. So do make sure we have everything centered, and this header, and use 2 fonts. So you have this style, you have this style, and you have this style. So you want to be sure that you are limiting to 2, one for your headers and one for your other copy. It frequently looks good to have this navigation font in your copy, like for this. And let's see what that font is. Okay, so this is that font, and so is that. So good. You can also use the same font that you're using here up here, and that will work well also. Okay. Good job. You've got your news and community events, and you can just say events, and that will make it shorter. Good. You edited this. No, it's a different one. Let's see. Yeah, you can edit this down so it's not so much scrolling if you like. I'm going to let this slide, but I do warn you that this is stock. It's Wix stock, and so it's familiar to people. And if you were actually building a website for this couple, you would go and take some photos, or they would provide you with their own rather than stock. It does design well, but I'm just letting you know that. Points are often deducted if it's a stock image from the Wix selection. So just keep that in mind. The contact us needs to go last, so you want to swap locations with that. Okay. And I know the order it's not in that order. But we do want the contact last. And we want to, we're going through quite a lot to get there. Okay. I like the feel. You possibly could make a slightly darker blue shape back here, and have it one shape might work well with what you're doing. You don't have to have, a map. It's not required as far as the assignment, but it's okay to have it. But you may want the location on top of the contact. Just have location and then contact below, just so that this can be last. It's where people are accustomed to finding it. So it's a web standard, and we want things to be easy for them. Let's see, there's something. Okay. Yeah, be careful of skewing a client's logo. We never change their logo, even if we don't like it. That is a whole other conversation with our client, right? If they want us to redo it. But we want to be careful because they themselves may have designed it. We don't know. But we have to be very careful with those things. Okay, all right. All in all, fantastic. Really great. A lot of work seems to have gone into this, so good job. Okay, and last, let's see. We want to delete the login. This particular client hasn't yet asked us to have an order online. We want the contact to be at the end. Testimonials, they don't need to be a page. So you can delete the page and just put the testimonials at the bottom of one of these other pages. You want to link these up. We don't have to have a home page for this. You can go right into the content. It's a food truck, so we have to be cautious of glassware. Okay. Yeah, so you see what needs to happen here, right? We've got a contrast issue. You want to update your footer, the date, and you're going to put Real Deal Taco, and you're going to put the disclaimer paragraph at the bottom in your footer. Make sure you also remove the cart here. This will need to be entered text. And your selected navigation title, this needs to be another color other than white. Let's see. Okay, so we have glassware and so forth. This would probably need to be cropped. But the thing is, in the situation, we're telling them that this is the about. So what happens is when they land on this, they're scrolling through photos, and really, here's the text. And it does need to be entered, obviously, but it would just be too small, and this is supposed to be the main idea. We don't need this button. You can delete this whole app that is here. I know it seems logical because it, puts all this in here. But at any rate, you're going to, if you were to keep it, because you're in love with it, you're going to make this really small, probably pink, to match the other page. And your menu would probably have some pink in it, right? A little more work on this, for sure. And you want to work on changing the background color more than leaving fill with your text. Okay. All right. And, this picture is being used a little bit too much, and it's got glassware, so be careful with that. You only need to have a contact, your links, the phone number, all of that. You've got some work to do as far as adding your content, all right? Okay, but you can do it. You can do it for sure. All right, so everybody did a fantastic job, a great start. Some are further along than others, but you're all going to be probably have a nice polished finish in your revision, all right? Ask me any questions whatsoever in the feedback section, and we'll make sure that you get everything you need to complete this site. You're starting a new one this week. It's only a skeleton, however, but this one should be finished and polished by next week, all right? Good job, everybody.